Now, let's define what constitutes quality data. Since we're focusing on data preprocessing, we first need a clear standard for what qualifies as good data. First, a good dataset should be complete, meaning it should not have missing values. Of course, expecting a complex dataset to be entirely free of missing values can be unrealistic. In such cases, we should handle missing values as effectively as possible to minimize their impact on the learning task. The simplest and most straightforward solution is to delete any data points with missing values, ensuring they don't influence the task. While this approach is quick, it may not always be the best choice, depending on the situation. Secondly, a good dataset should be consistent. When analyzing consistency, we need to consider two aspects: whether there are conflicts between different data points, and whether there are conflicting features within the same data point. Consistency ensures that the data aligns logically, making it easier for the machine to learn meaningful patterns. In other words, consistency can be analyzed from multiple perspectives. For instance, there should be no conflicting information. In our earlier example, the mismatch between the recorded quantity and the number of items ordered is an inconsistency within a single data point. On the other hand, the inconsistent formatting of time records is an inconsistency across different data points. In practice, analyzing consistency often requires human knowledge and judgment. Relying solely on programs might overlook certain inconsistencies, so human input is essential for a thorough analysis. Accuracy is another critical standard for good data. The information we provide to the machine should be as accurate as possible. If we train a machine using data filled with errors, we cannot expect it to learn any truly useful or reliable skills. Accurate data is the foundation for effective learning and trustworthy results. The timeliness of data depends on the specific task at hand. For some tasks, the time information of the data may not be particularly important. For instance, if we are using images of cats and dogs to train a machine learning model to distinguish between them, it doesn't matter whether the photos are old or new. The model's ability to recognize cats and dogs should remain unaffected because the features of cats and dogs don't change significantly over a stable period. However, for other applications, time can be a critical feature. The most intuitive example is the stock market. If you use data from 10 years ago to predict stock trends and make investment decisions, you might lose everything. For instance, if we are using images of cats and dogs to train a machine learning model to distinguish between them, it doesn't matter whether the photos are old or new. The model's ability to recognize cats and dogs should remain unaffected because the features of cats and dogs don't change significantly over a stable period. As we mentioned with timestamps, even if this information is included in the dataset, it might not be relevant to the specific task. In other words, we only need to retain the features that are relevant to our task. Feeding more information to the machine does not necessarily lead to better results. The more features we provide, the more complex the machine learning model needs to be to capture all the information. This requires significantly more resources to train the model, which is inefficient in practice. Therefore, during data preprocessing, it's crucial to filter out irrelevant features and focus only on those that are relevant to the task at hand. This not only simplifies the model but also improves efficiency and reduces unnecessary complexity. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, we need to consider the reliability of the data. If the dataset we use is unreliable, training a trustworthy model becomes a matter of luck. For example, if someone intentionally labels dog images as cats to train a machine learning model, the resulting model will naturally learn to misclassify dogs as cats. In real-world scenarios, maliciously manipulating the training process or accidentally using incorrect information is quite common. Both situations can lead to models that produce unreliable or even harmful results. This highlights the importance of verifying the reliability of your dataset before using it for training. For instance, if you use a dataset provided by fraudsters to train a machine to detect financial fraud, it's highly likely that the model will actually make it easier for fraud to occur. Reliable data is the foundation of building effective and ethical machine learning models. Without it, even the best algorithms cannot guarantee meaningful results.